Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast, featuring Commissioner Christine King, where all voices are heard.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Kingdom Podcast. I am your host, Chairwoman of the City of Miami Commission, Christine King, and Commissioner for City of Miami District 5. Joining me today is our Parks and Recreation Director, Mr. Christopher Evans. Welcome to the Kingdom Podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me. I love your setup. Got a nice looking place here.
Absolutely. We are filming in the historic Lyric Theater. Although it's a podcast, you can go on the city's YouTube channel and find our conversation, as well as listening to the podcast on all of the podcast platforms.
Beautiful.
So we are pretty special, and it's an honor to film the podcast here in the historic Lyric Theater, who just celebrated 100+ years of existence. Yes,
a lot of history over here. Glad we get to play a little part in it.
So I understand that July is Park and Recreation's month.
It is.
How did that come? Who decided July would be Parks and Recreation Month?
Yes. Thanks again for having me. It's the National Parks and Recreation Association. They designate July as the National Parks and Recreation Month. It's pretty much the month nationwide we have the most amount of people in our parks. Now the school is out, the temperature is warmer everywhere. We got pools open, gyms open. It's really a time we welcome everybody to come enjoy a chance to come to one of their parks. So
I understand. Well, for the city of Miami, though, we have such fantastic weather. It's Parks and Recreation Month every month of the year.
Every month.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So how did you get involved? How did you become the Parks and Recreation Director? Where did you go to college?
Okay. I went to Florida State University, Go Noles. I actually studied Parks and Recreation in college. My first job was as a counselor at a community park back in Pensacola. So I've always been involved with recreation and parks and sports and the outdoors. So it kind of was a natural fit for me. I had the opportunity, when I was at Florida State, like I said, was majoring in this and really thought it could be a good career. I worked in the Tallahassee Parks and Recreation Department, been in Orlando, been in a couple other cities, but my heart's always been drawn to sports. And then kind of that next step in that progression was being involved in local government, loving to be able to be a part of public service, and being able to be the director has been a joy in my life.
Are you from Miami?
I'm not from Miami. From Pensacola originally.
Okay.
Been here 11 years. I love Miami. I think Miami is one of the best cities in the world. And, I love that I can get a chance to play a part to make it even better.
Miami is magic, isn't it?
Magic City.
Magic City. With respect to our parks, D5 has some beautiful parks. And I understand congratulations are in order for one of our parks.
Yes, absolutely. The Miami New Times named Charles Hadley Pool the best public pool in Miami, in the metro area. It's one of our biggest pools. We have a lot in common, including, I guess, how we're dressed today with the whites and the Nikes. But that we have, 3 different pools there. We have organizations that come and use it. The neighborhood loves the pool, and it's historic, just like where we are now. I remember back in the day, the pictures I've looked at, they had the diving board and the different situations where we run the pools a little differently now. But we're definitely proud that Hadley Park is the shining example for the whole city.
Absolutely, we have swim nights for our kids, and it's a whole vibe. It's a whole party. We have a DJ. People come out. We have free food out there. The kids are enjoying it. It's a safe space to be. Enjoy your evening, swim, listen to good music, get some good food. It's amazing. I mean, I quaked the pool.
Okay.
I enjoyed seeing our young people having good constructive fun. And that's what that pool is for. It's hot here now. So to be able to go and enjoy a swim night, cool off from these hot summer days is fantastic. And we're doing that both at Charles Hadley Park and here in Overtown as well.
Yes, you have the most pools in your area. A lot of your residents here in District 5, they really like the opportunity to go to the pools, and I think we have 5, just here in your district that we try to keep programmed and make sure everybody has an opportunity to walk to their pool. That's important too. Everybody can have a pool within walking distance of their house.
Absolutely. And it must be amazing being able to come to work every day in your sneakers
It is.
as the Park and Recreation Director.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like my sneakers. I wore my green socks. I know it's Parks and Recreation Month, so I did that. I didn't know when I came we were going to be looking the same, but you got your sneakers you're rocking too.
Well, my goddaughter, shout out to my goddaughter Kennedy King, keeps me in drips. She's a sneakerhead. She sells sneakers, and any kind of sneaker you think you might want, she has access to it.
All
so
right.
she makes sure that I stay in fashion with my sneakers.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I call myself a sneakerhead. I do love a nice pair of white shoes. I don't know, something that's different about having some nice clean shoes. Back in the day we used to, have a little toothbrush that we used to carry and used to get the dirt off of them when we did it. So
yeah,
I'm not. Cool.
I just wear them.
Right,
I don't
right
bother
nowadays.
with all of that.
Right, for sure.
So now, tell us a little bit about the innovations that are happening with our city parks. I know all of the parks that are being renovated now address the needs of all children. Can you explain that to our listeners?
Yes. With every park we do, every playground we do, I know we're doing a couple more here in District 5. We try to make sure that they're adaptable and that, whether children have disabilities or they don't, or they have their autism, the way that we can have some different auditory components with each playground we do. We want to make sure that when we are transforming our parks that we ensure we are inclusive of everyone. So that's one piece, and then another one with innovation is trying to make sure all of our parks have wireless internet. Wireless internet now is not really just a luxury.
Right.
to apply for jobs, to do things with medicine and with education. You have to have access to internet. So my goal is to have all of our parks. I know we got 151. There's some of them that are on the water and islands, but with all of our parks and all of our community centers to have wireless internet throughout. So that's something we're really working with our IT department to do. So that's definitely another innovation we're looking to include.
That's so forward thinking, because there are, believe it or not, still families that don't have internet in the home. But you could go to the park, you can do your homework at the park, and many of our parks have after school programs. A lot of that programming is free for residents, and like you said, applying for a job, you need to do that through you need the internet. So something as simple as applying for the job, because everything is online nowadays. And what better use of a park than for us to go there and be able to do everything that is needed to do. You can play, you can get your homework done.
Right.
I think that's very smart. And particularly and I know because I've insisted on it, that our parks, whatever park in my district that's being renovated, have all of that innovation that you spoke about, because I want every child to be able to enjoy our public parks. And it's very important to me, because our children are all different levels of ability, and I don't want any child to be left out from being included.
I agree.
So I'm happy with that. I think that is one of the best things the city is doing, making sure our parks are accessible to all.
Right. And I agree 100%. And then even with that being accessible, having a park within a 10-minute walk of your house, that's one thing. We try to identify the areas that don't fit that measure, and in the next 10 years, work with your office, work with all our commissioners to try to make that a reality. Everybody has a high quality, well-maintained, innovative park, within a 10-minute walk of their home.
Do you have any plans? Are there any plans for dog parks, particular dog parks?
Yes. Particular dog parks, yes. So when we did our park system master plan, we kind of mapped out the whole city. We decided what amenities are there plentiful of, and which ones we need to do more investing in. And it did indicate that we need to have more dog parks. Some of our parks now, a lot of people have more dogs. I know you're a dog mom yourself.
Absolutely. I'm always looking for a safe, clean space for Cinnamon.
Yes.
Everyone that knows me knows that my mini poodle, she travels everywhere I go. And I know we're in the process of renovating the small dog park in Legion Park.
Yes.
Can we have an idea of maybe when that project will be complete?
For sure. We are waiting on the last little bit of funding to happen this summer, and then we're going to have a meeting with the community there to see exactly what they're looking for, and hopefully have that under construction before the end of the year. But those projects are fairly quick compared to other projects in that location. So once we get a good idea and it meets the needs of the community, we'll definitely get that started.
I appreciate that because that's a park within 10 minutes walking distance from my house. And I would love to have a safe space for Cinnamon to hang out, play, exercise, all of that great stuff. And Legion Park is a fantastic place for that to happen. It's a beautiful park, waterfront park. We're opening the kayak launch soon, correct?
Yes, I think it's going to be a lot of, like you said, innovation. There's going to be a lot going on just at that park between the new community center and then the area of the shoreline we're going to work on, and maybe just master plan the whole park so it'll be ready for the next 50 years.
Yep. And the residents would love it because that park has so much activation in it. There's yoga on Saturday in the park. There's the farmers market on Saturday in the park. And I know the community would very much appreciate updating the dog park for the little dogs, because we have a partnership with Miami Police Department, and the canines train there, and others are able to use it when the canines aren't using it, the bigger dogs. So that's pretty cool as well. Good partnership.
Yes.
What else is happening throughout the city of Miami? Because you said we have like 150 odd parks. What else is happening?
We're trying to include more gymnasiums. I know we have we finished the Moore Park project, just the exterior components, but we're looking to get some funding to do more things there. Have a gymnasium. We're running into a lot of the community centers we have are older. So one of the things we identify where some of those gaps are when there's really a need to have a new community center to kind of reinvigorate each of the communities that they're in. So to do that, to have a couple of more pools to match our master plan of meeting the needs of aquatic facilities throughout the city. So that's one. And then also just trying to make sure we grow, the Parks Department and keep our parks well maintained. The biggest comment that came out of our master plan is that we need to focus on renewing the existing facilities we have. While we try to grow, and we want there to be more additional parks throughout the city, like taking care of the parks that we have now on a higher level that they are. Like Disney is the standard. I used to live in Orlando. Disney is the standard. Until our parks look like Disney and have beautiful landscaping and people feel safe and secure in all of our parks, I just won't be satisfied. So.
I use Disney standard as well. That's how I revamped MLK Boulevard. I told Public Works, listen, I want MLK Boulevard to look like Disney, because they do a fantastic job with landscaping. It's so beautiful. You mentioned Moore Park. We just recently, with the help of the Orange Bowl Committee, redid the track and field portion of that park. That park is beautiful. And I know that park because I used to attend that park when I was a child. I learned how to play tennis at that park. I went there in the summers for the free lunch program. Good times. And from then to now, what that park is, it is amazing. That is a focus point for the city of Miami with that park. They don't have a pool, but they do have a fantastic tennis facility, tennis courts. And now the track and field, the football field, the gymnasium that's coming.
No, it's a world-class park. When I was learning just a lot more about Miami when I first moved here, I read a lot of different parts that keep coming up when people discuss things. And Hadley, I know it had a different name back in the day, but Moore Park is like just the connection with youth football and track, and then just the organizations that you were mentioning as well that do so much great things for the community. Like it really is like the standard of what we should be doing for all of our parks.
Charles Hadley used to be Manor Park. I played there too, and we used to go there Christmas and go skating, and good times. Good times.
Hadley's got a little bit of everything, and the senior center there as well is something that's a focal point. When we did our master plan too, I always could talk about our master plan because it's kind of like our guiding book. Like when I hopped into this job, one thing I was fortunate is that we had a document that was like a plan with some consultants that has some really high level things in there. But we mentioned with Hadley Park, seniors we want to have more senior centers. The population is getting older. We're living longer than we ever have on this planet. So we're going to make sure we have programming from 8 in the morning when our seniors are there, and then when they leave at 2, then have children coming in after school.
Right.
So that's really the standard we're trying to create.
I love that, and we do need more senior centers because Hadley Park is at its capacity for seniors, and I have so many more seniors in District 5 and other places in the city of Miami who would love to have a space where they can come, socialize, get a hot, nutritious meal, play games, learn about current events. They have guest speakers come in. It's a fantastic time for them. I go there to play dominoes with the seniors. They beat me a lot, and they enjoy beating me at dominoes, but I love playing with them. I learn so much just sitting there listening to them and listening to their stories, and I would love to recreate that in other areas in D5 that could benefit from a senior program in the community. Also, with respect to improving our existing parks, I'm having the community center renovated at the Little Haiti Soccer Park because it hasn't been renovated in how many decades?
Right, 2, right. Since it probably was built, I think.
Right, I
the
think
center
so.
was built, I think, early 2000s or a little bit before then.
I think so. We're doing the renovation. It'll start in August after the summer program, and it should be ready by January or before kids have to come back into that space. And we're doing lots of great things with Roberto Clemente Park, and we got some funding from the state to do improvements for that park, also in my district, and is named in honor of the fantastic, great baseball player Roberto Clemente, whose heart really was community and giving back to the community, and that community has taken on that park, its mission, and improving the park. They are so excited about all of the things to come in that space, and I'm honored to have such awesome parks in D5. Yeah,
those neighborhoods that you talk about, like when I was learning so much more, like the passion that people have for parks. Like it's like public safety, that's always at the forefront. But parks is really like right there, as far as we're the 3rd largest department in the city. We've got 500 employees, and we can increase that by 300 during the summer when we have all the thousands of kids in our programs, and people are really passionate about parks and what they want in parks.
Absolutely. And a park with a nice walking trail and, gives you the ability to exercise. I try to stretch my legs every day, get in a mile or 2. And in both directions, I'm 10 minutes from a park. I'm less than 10 minutes from Legion Park, and I'm less than 10 minutes from Morningside Park. I'm right there. And I visit all of our parks. All of our parks are, there are some areas for improvement, but for the most part, our parks are amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to be satisfied until the whole nation knows about it. We started talking about the National Parks and Recreation Association, National Parks and Rec Month. They have a national award. They have a gold medal award, and we want to win the gold medal award. I think we do a lot of innovative things. We do a lot of things to help our residents succeed. Our parks are resiliency hubs. If there happens to be an event, an emergency event, our parks are going to be there to be open for the community to get air conditioned, to get services from all our fellow departments. So I really want to keep bragging on our department until we're recognized by the national organization.
That's soon to come. I'm absolutely certain that is soon to come. And having said all of that, Mr. Parks and Recreation Director, what's your favorite part of the job?
My favorite part of the job is going to the parks, going to a park, and whether we're talking seniors or just going to hang out with the kids that are there, just getting that energy. Sometimes we have tough days or things are going on, but we can actually go out to a park and get that energy from kids. So that's my favorite part. We have water, like going out on a boat with some of my staff, and we have islands that are getting a lot of attention nowadays.
Leave no trace.
Making sure everybody, How
are we doing with the leave no trace policy?
It it's a lesson. I know we're trying to change culture. Boating culture, I think here, and party culture is really something that we got an uphill battle in some parts. But I'm hopeful that if we follow national standards, we get all of our departments activated, the other agencies and the people that really care about Biscayne Bay, that really want us to have our islands open, want to have clean places to recreate, that they talk to their fellow boaters, like leave no trash, take all the trash with you, or the city might keep the islands closed, and you won't get a chance to access them.
Right. And that's an extreme measure, but we really need to address our islands and the recreation, living on the bay, living in Florida where we're surrounded by water. Of course, we want to recreation on the water. Of course, we want to hang out, but we can't spoil the bay in the process. We have to be cognizant of the sea life, the marine life, everything, that ecosystem, and keeping the bay clean, and that's part of it. Leave no trace.
We've got more boaters on the water now than ever before, like down in Miami. We have the most registered than everywhere in the state. People come from all around the Tri-County area to go on Biscayne Bay right here, and some of them don't do a good job of taking their trash, and it ends up on the shorelines at some of our parks. It ends up hurting wildlife in our parks. So the advocates, the environmentalists, they've been reaching out since the moment I took the job, like, what are we doing to make sure that we keep the bay clean? So,
and I love that about our community. They really do hold our feet to the fire. What are you doing? How can we improve? And they're helpful as well. They're not just complaining. They offer solutions. Because I have nice, healthy dialogues about our bay and how to maintain it and keep it. It's a challenge.
Yes.
It's a challenge.
Yes.
So I'm happy about that. Now, there's a segment in my podcast where we have this like spitfire round. I ask you 5 questions, and you don't get to think about it for too long. You just tell me.
All right.
Do you have a theme song?
No, I don't. It kind of changes. Kind of depends on where I'm at.
As it should. So what would it be today?
Today.
What are you listening to today?
There's a new album. Lucky Day came out with a new album. R&B artist. I don't know. I'll send it to you if you don't know. Lucky Day. He's got a new album, and he's got a song called "That's You." So it's got like a funk and like a soul and an R&B, but then it's just kind of where he's at, in his life, and I kind of mirror that. I know we're the questions, but he's talking about just kind of all the things he's happy for and he's blessed for, but he's missing one little thing, and I'm out here trying to find my soulmate too. So that's one. Did
everyone see that shameless plug? He's looking for his soulmate. Chris is available for all of our single women out here.
Oh, goodness.
Chris is available.
Oh, goodness.
Well, right now I'm listening to Mac Miller.
Okay.
I love Mac Miller.
Rest in peace.
I'm listening to his Circles album.
Yes.
And there isn't a song on that album that I don't like.
He's got some jazz.
It's so It's so chill. It has a jazzy kind of vibe to it. I love
Circles.
Mac Miller.
Yes.
May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Do you have a favorite book?
Favorite book? Will Smith's autobiography. Like when I read it, it was I did the Audible version. I heard a couple of other guests say it, like Audible too, and it's a different experience because he narrates his own book. So. I did play a lot of sports and, that when I was coming up, but I also watched a lot of TV. So Fresh Prince is where, my introduction into Will, but just seeing kind of and learning about his journey from, being in Philadelphia, going through some of the same kind of situations I have been through as well, and then making such a popular television show and using that as a platform to launch the rest of his life and the rest of the stories. And it came out before, the slap incident and all those other things, but,
People feel very strongly about that slap incident.
They do. Well, but Will Smith is back. He's, one of the highest, grossing actors of all time. So,
I mean,
but the book was good.
Redoing Bad Boys a 4th time.
People were going.
Did
you see it?
No.
Okay. Right.
I have not. I don't like going to the movies though, so you can't count on me.
Okay.
When I can watch it on TV in the comfort of my home, maybe I'll check it out.
Okay.
Maybe I'll check it out. But okay. Do you have a mission statement? For yourself?
A mission statement for myself? No, not really, but I don't know. I try my best not to take things personally. Like I remember, I know some people were talking about the residents, and people are super passionate about what they want, and I get interesting amounts of emails and comments, and I just try not to take it personal. Like I know.
So if you could describe yourself with one word, what would that word be?
Courageous.
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 I love that. I love that. Okay. Yeah. And if you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would you want to break bread with, and why?
So I guess I gotta keep honest and real. You said Spitfire, so
yes,
living or dead. So a lot of my journey in life, I lost my mother when I was young, so I would definitely, want to have dinner with her and talk through, this amazing life that she set me up to have. So,
that's beautiful. Okay, and if you could give your 18-year-old self, and there's some kids that'll be watching and or listening, what advice would you?
18-year-old self.
Yeah. Do you remember when you were 18?
18-year-old self. I guess patience. Be a little bit more patient. Everything doesn't come, as fast as you want to, but the wait for things is not like a punishment. It's like preparation to be kind of ready for the moments. So be more patient.
That is good advice. That is good advice.
Yeah.
Well, this is a wrap for the latest episode of the Kingdom Podcast with my guest, Chris Evans, City of Miami Parks and Recreation Director Extraordinaire, who is taking our parks to the next generation and beyond. I want to thank you for being a guest. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being so stylish with your sneakers.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for putting up with me as an elected. And I know I have a lot of demands for our parks, and we work well together. And I just want to say publicly that I appreciate you.
Thank you. I received that, and I appreciate, the opportunity to continue to serve, just like you.
Well, that's a wrap. Another Kingdom Podcast in the can. Thank you, everyone, for listening in or viewing. See you next time.